Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Jump In Let's Play. This week we are taking a look at a brand new release, that is Mille Fiori. This is a light Euro game where you are covering spaces with your different coloured diamonds in order to score points. So as usual we'll go through the setup, we'll explain a little bit about the board and then jump through a few turns for you. So setup is fairly simple. Each player has a ship and a pawn in their colour. The ships are set up down here, the pawn's up here, and you can see the victory track around the edge. Each player is given a bag of coloured diamonds. There's 30 in the bag, however you take 3 of them out and set them off to one side, as you don't start with those. You may be able to use them later depending on circumstances. We have these cards here, so these are the cards that we're going to use. Oh, we just dropped all of those. These are the cards we're going to use to place our diamonds on the various different spaces here, and we'll explain those in a little bit more detail in just a second. Depends on the amount of players. We put some cards off to the side. During the game, players may be able to win extra cards, which allows them to play extra actions. So those will be off to one side. Each player is given 5 cards to start with, and one player is given the first player marker. So the objective of the game is to score as many points as possible before the end of the game. So the game ends in one of 2 ways, when either the starting player deals the last cards in the draw pile at the beginning of that round, then you still play to the end of the round and then the game ends and you total up your score, or when you place your last diamond on the playing board during your turn, you finish your turn first. So a couple of ways to do that. So now a little explanation of the cards and the board itself. So we'll just grab some of the cards here. So each card will represent a different zone in the game board itself. So here, for example, this purple one will refer to this bit down here. It also uses a character to highlight that area as well. So you can see here, for example, we've got that character there, and then here, for example, we've got the character here. In order to use these cards, all you do is you pick it from the hand and then you will perform that action. So you'll then get to score as well. We'll go through the different areas for you. So first up we have the workshops. That's this area here. Now here, when you are placing your cards, you have to place it on a matching symbol. When you place them so they surround one of these stars, you get to draw an extra card, and then you get points based on how many you fill as well. Here, the one that we've just shown you, this is the residences. So this is where the people of the island live. With these ones, all you do is you place your diamond on the next available space, and that will score you so many points. We then have the townspeople. So we've got 2 areas for this. They call them the Nobili and the Populi. They'll each have a set of 3 different symbols. The way this will work is that you don't need to place your diamond on the symbol that matches it, for example, so you can see here, because you have to build up these triangles. So you could use this one to place it here to build up a different triangle. And then we have the trades, which is this one here. So this one you score by placing them on these different columns. The more of them you place on one column, the more points that you score. And then we have the harbour, which is this one here, which is prepping your glass to be taken away to the rest of Europe. So what will happen is you'll place your pieces here. Once a whole row has been filled up, then you score based on the row that is next to it, and you'll score points for each of these. You'll also, as part of this, move your ship around here, and you can see here that there's a variety of different points that can be earned, as well as extra cards as well that can be earned for the players. So that's everything for the setup and explanation of the board. So we will dive into the gameplay and show you how this game is played. So this is sort of a reminiscent of a card draft that kicks off each round. So what will happen is you will look at each of your cards and then you will pick one that you will want to play for that particular turn. So for example, we take this one, so we'll just explain these. In the normal version of the rules, you do ignore the numbers up in the corners here. These are for an alternative way to play. So here, for example, we've got this one, which would allow me to place it anywhere in this section. I can place it along the bottom row, anywhere. If I place it on that symbol, so this one or this one, for example, I get double points. And then every time you score within this area, everyone who's got a diamond in that structure will score points. This one here will allow us to place one of our diamonds on the corresponding trade here. These ones, as we've already mentioned, will allow us to play our diamonds around here and score points. And this one allows us to play our diamonds here. You'll score points for each adjacent one. And then if you manage to cover all of them, you get an extra card, which allows you to do an extra turn. So let's go for this one here. So what we'll do is we'll keep this card to one side and we'll leave that there. And each other player then will pick their cards too. So we'll just say that they've taken that one. And this player here, let's say they have taken that one there. Each player, once they've taken their cards, will go through one by one. So us here, so we get to place one of ours here. So we're going to place it here. So what this will mean then is that we score points now based on what the card tells us. So we're going to score double because we've covered the correct symbol. And then along the bottom it will tell you how many points you score per level in the pyramid. So we only score 1 point, so we score ourselves 2 points. So we are up on 2 there, and the card gets discarded. This player here then, what they are going to do is place one of their pieces on that symbol in here. So we could go here, for example, and they will score just 1 point for that. And then this player here, they're going to place theirs on the first space there. So they score themselves 2 points. So now that that is done, all of these cards get passed to the player to your left. And then we begin a new round. So now we will take a look at these cards. So this doesn't give us lots of choice here. So let's take, so we will take this one. So we'll place that face down in front of us, and each other player will pick one of theirs as well. So this person will take this one, and this player here will go for this one. So we reveal our cards. So red will play one on here. So let's say they place theirs right there, and they score themselves 1 point. Orange will play theirs here. So now they will score 1 point for the tile they've just placed, plus 1 point for each additional tile of their colour. So they score themselves 2 points. And then purple here is going to place one on this swan here. and then they begin this row. So what will happen in this one is that it actually multiplies. So the more you have, multiplies your score. So they get 1 point on there. Everyone then passes their cards to the left, and we start the next round of this particular drafting. So let's say this player's going to take this one here. This player is going to take this one here. And our purple player is going to take this one. So we reveal our cards. So for us, we get to place this on any available space along the bottom. Obviously we do have that symbol, so we can place it right there and score ourselves 2 points. This player here is going to play on this one. So what this is going to do is actually double the points for all of their tiles. So they're going to score 2 points for the one they've just placed, then 2 points for each additional one. So they're going to score themselves 6 points. And then purple here is going to place theirs on the next purple one, which is going to be this one here, and that's going to score them 4 points. So we've got 2 cards left. So red's going to take this one. Yellow's going to take this one. And purple is going to take this one here. So we show our cards. This player's going to move on to the next one. So they're going to score themselves 3 points. This player here is going to play it on the one here. So we'll play it here, and they will score themselves 4 points because they're all connected. And then finally our purple player is going to play one on here and score themselves 1 point. So all of these go to the discard pile as always. Now we have 3 cards left over. So what will happen now with these 3 cards is they won't actually be used in this round of play. They will actually be placed over here, and they will be added to the extra cards on the side here. Okay, so we'll quickly explain here how you get these extra cards. So each area will have a different way for you to be able to score these extra cards. So we'll start up here. As we mentioned, this one will score you an extra card if you manage to surround one of these symbols. Over here, you get an extra card for covering 3 or 5 different spaces. So for example, if our purple player was to then be able to cover this space, they'd be able to take one of the extra cards, which gives them an extra action straight away. If we come to here, you get an extra card once the entire pyramid has been filled in that section. So here we would need these spaces to be filled. Here we would need all of these spaces to be filled to get an extra card, and the same with this one as well. Here you get an extra card if you give a player what they call a good deal. So if we had 2 purple on here, for example, and then the red player took one of these cards and placed it on here, because the purple player would score points and would score more points than you based on the criteria for that, then you would draw one of the extra cards and get your extra action. And then for the boats, you have simply the 3 spaces here that have the extra cards action. You can also score points bonuses throughout the game as well. And again, that will vary depending on the different areas. So here, for example, you can see we've got 4 spaces, and we always have these 4 spaces in each of these zones. What will happen here is the first person to get one of each of those symbols covered up will be able to cover up the first diamond there, and then carries on with the other spaces. For this one here, it'll be the first person to have 4 different numbers covered will get that one, and then it will proceed downwards. Here, the first person to get each of the 3 symbols, so getting this row here, for example, or like this here, and then here it'll be the first player to fill a row. Each one of these will get the first one, and then proceeding with each of the others. So we'll do one more round for you guys. So each player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The starting player marker moves to the next person. And play begins again. So this player will take a look at theirs. So they're going to take this one here. We'll just put those straight away here for this player here. What they're going to do is take this one. So we'll put that one straight away there. And then this player here, they're going to go for this one. So we then reveal in turn. So our orange player gets to play one of these. So they've covered the fire. That also means that they have covered one of each. So they score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for that. 2, 3, 4, 5 points for that. And then they cover the 20 there, which means they score another 20 points. So this player is going to place theirs in the port, in the harbour area. So this doesn't score them any points at the moment. It will only score once all 3 have been filled, but it does allow them to move on the track here as well. So they'll move to the first space, which will score them 1 point there. Then our player here is going to play this shell. So we're going to go right in here. Now this is going to score them for everything they've got so far. So they get times 2 points for the one that they've placed. So they get 2 points there, and then they get a point for this one. So they get themselves 3 points. There we go. And now we move with the next lot. So this player's going to take this one. We'll pass them over. This player's going to take this one. We'll pass them over. And then our player here will take this one. And those get passed over. So now we reveal each of them. So orange, it's going to go in here. It's just going to score 1 point at the moment. Purple is going to place their next one here. So they score themselves 5 points. And then they also get to play a extra action card because they have a 2, a 4 and a 5 covered. So they get to take a look here and pick one of those. So what they're going to do is they're going to play this one, which is going to allow them to play another space. So they score another point. And because they have covered 4 different spaces, they get 20 points there. So we are here. And then our player is going to cover up one of these. So what will happen now is, because they can't cover up this one, because they need this one to be filled in first, they can either put one here or put one here. What we're going to do is go for one in there. So this is going to score them 3 points for this one and 1 for each of those. So we're going to get ourselves 5 points in total. So we'll then go through again. So this player is going to take this one. This player here will take this one. And then we will take this one here. So this player is going to play one. They're going to play it right here. So that's going to score them 2 points for each. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points. So we got 5, 10, 11, 12 points. This player here is going to play one in this area. Oh, before we do that, this player has actually covered one of these. So let's get them a card. So they're going to take this one, which is going to allow them to place another one of these. So they're going to place it there. Then that's going to score them 2 points for each adjacent one. So we've got 7 in total. So that's going to score us 14 points. Now we move to this player. So they're going to get to play one on this. So they're going to play there. So that's going to score them 2 points, but it's also going to score us 1, because this symbol allows all players that are in that to score. And then for us here, we're going to play one here, and then we're going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So the last one, so they're going to take a look here. So this player is going to take this one. This player is going to take this one here. And we're going to take this one here. So we take a look at orange. So they're going to play theirs here. So for this, we will count up how many spaces have already been filled. So we've got 2 spaces filled. So each one is worth 2 points. So they score themselves 4 points there. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. The purple player is going to be able to fill one of these spaces. So they could fill this one and then score themselves 2 points, but they're actually going to go in for this one, scoring themselves 1 point, but allowing themselves to then play another card. So what they're going to do is they're going to take this one and they're going to play that like so, which will score them 1 point. And finally for us, we've got this card here. So this is going to allow us to fill in one of these spaces. We're going to go here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If that happened to be full and we were able to put it there, it would score us 2 times 6 points. Each of the cards here that are left over are then placed in the extra cards area, and then the first player marker will move to the next player, and then we will continue going. And as I said, the round will end when either the cards have run out or one player has used all of their tokens. There are a few spare, just in case you have any extra card actions that you're able to fulfill by filling any of the criteria around the board there. And that is Mille Fiori. This is a really nice, light Euro game. It has a lot like a lot going for it. There seems to be a lot of moving parts, but as you can see, once you get into the flow of it, it's actually really quite simple. It's just the sort of depth of strategy, the options from the card drafting at the start of the round. It does draw parallels to other games such as Azul, for example, where you are covering spaces, creating sort of these nice like stained glass effects. But yeah, that is Mille Fiori. It is our game of the week currently, and it is also benefiting from the 10% off sale that we are running till the end of March 2022. So if you do want to get a copy of this, you want to try it out, do come down to the shop. This will be set up in our demo area, and you can also pick up a copy for yourself with that 10% discount if you want to take a copy home. That's everything for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the boardroom.